If you invest in house land package in Australia, you are better off to invest in iron and wood. Today, by making this video, I'm definitely offending some vested interests, but I still want to speak out because too many Chinese people have been deceived. Today, I'm going to clearly explain why house and land packages are basically garbage, and why this kind of garbage has still appreciated so much over the past 5 years. Let's say you have $1 million and you buy a house and land package. First of all, when you're buying an investment property in Australia, you need to be very clear about what exactly you're purchasing. You're buying two things. One is the land itself, and the other is the building on that land. Generally speaking, a well-built structure can last for about 50 years, which means it depreciates by 2% each year and is basically torn down after 50 years. Based on this logic, when you buy a house and land package, let's say you spend $1 million, $500,000 on the land and $500,000 on the building. The $500,000 spent on the land appreciates by 8% to 10% per year, while the $500,000 spent on the building depreciates by 2% per year. So don't these two factors basically offset each other? But if you buy an older house, you might spend $1 million with $800,000 going towards the land, and that $800,000 appreciates at 10% per year. Only the $200,000 in the old house is depreciating, but since it is already an old house, it is unlikely to lose much more value. So, in the long run, does not buying a large plot with an old house appreciate more than a house and land package? That is right. But then, why have house and land packages also surged crazily in the past 5 years? Essentially, it is because in the 5 years after the pandemic, construction costs have risen by more than 52%, averaging a 10% increase per year. Think about it. A house that cost $500,000 to build 5 years ago now costs $750,000. So, does not that mean both the land and the building on it are appreciating? So that's why house and land packages have appreciated so rapidly over the past 5 years, because building a house has become more expensive. However, this is unsustainable. In the past 1 or 2 months, construction costs have only risen by about 1%, which has returned to a normal level. We know that real estate is a hedge against inflation, and over the past 20 or 30 years, the average annual increase in construction costs has just kept pace with the CPI and inflation. So if you are still investing in house and land packages today, you are essentially betting that a once-in-a-millennium black swan event like the pandemic will happen again, and that construction costs will continue to grow by 10% every year in the future. Do you dare to take that risk? I certainly do not. If you did not quite catch the logic I just explained, let us take it a step further. Even if you are willing to bet that construction costs will keep skyrocketing by 10% every year, why would you buy a house and land package? You might as well just buy scrap metal and timber, buy some iron, buy some wood and store it in your backyard. The wood you buy for $100 today will be worth $110 next year. Why bother building a house? Just sell the raw materials directly. Isn't that so much easier? Let's take the logic one step further. If you're a bit more sophisticated, you could just trade commodities directly, or play with futures contracts. You could bet against others that the price of timber will rise by 10% by this time next year. Why bother buying a house? And to take it even further, would you rather bet on a once-in-a-millennium black swan event happening again? Or would you prefer to bet on the best investment that has been proven by the market over the past 20 or 30 years? I think the answer is obvious. Like and follow me. I'm Jinsei Xian, your real estate advisor in Melbourne.